Good morning and welcome to the new Tiff and Tony show. Good morning, Tiff. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you very much. So we are looking at doing something a little bit different in this unusual times of this COVID-19 pandemic. And we're going to start a regular recording, calling it the Tiff and Tony show. We're going to cover a lot of life skills, character education, leadership skills, general stuff for youth to be able to engage better in the world. So, Tiffany, why don't you tell us why we're doing this?
Yes, so this is just a really great way for us to be able to really show how Pure Game is much more than a soccer organization. We do much more than play games with kids. It is really about building these deeper connections with children, with youth, being able to walk with them a little bit more. We're not just positive role models out on the field. And really what I've learned in my own life from experience and from health professionals that have just shared these truths to me in my own life is that children really need at least 5 positive adults in their life to grow up to become secure connectors, to grow up to become healthy adults.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not only something that children grow into and learn, but it's something that us as adults can grow into as well. I did not grow up with a secure connection. My lifestyle at home was pretty unhealthy. And so this is something that I'm learning now. I am now a 32-year-old woman. I started this journey about 6 or 7 years ago. And so my mid-20s, kind of having what maybe I would call a quarter life crisis, and just looking back at some really unhealthy patterns that I had developed just from an unhealthy childhood. And what I'm learning is that now I'm growing into becoming a secure connector. And I'm learning how to be a healthy, emotionally, mentally, physically healthy adult. And so part of what we do here at Pure Game is helping these children and these youth sort of change course a little bit. And if we use an example of I have 2 metaphors for you. So the first one is a target. So let's say I am going to shoot a target with a dart, and I'm maybe only a degree off, but 100 yards from here, a degree off could actually be multiple feet, multiple yards. It could be a really long distance. And so if you think about that, and if we help these children and these youth make small changes now, down the road, it's unquantifiable how much of a difference maybe we can make. And kind of this beautiful and also hard thing that I've had to wrap my head around is we may not know even the least bit of percentage of change that these kids experience later down the road. And it's kind of cool to think that, like, oh wow, like we don't really even know the difference we could be making in someone's life. And yet it's also a little bit like, oh, I really wish we could walk with these kids, into adulthood and kind of experience those changes with them. And then the second metaphor I have is, many of us have probably heard this before, but you're on a plane, the plane's going down, and they drop the oxygen masks, and the instruction is to put your oxygen mask on first so that you can help someone else. And the idea behind that is that, well, if you've passed out because you can't breathe and there's no oxygen, there's no way you can help anyone else. So not only do we want to walk with these kids and these youth and help them grow into healthy adults and mentor them in these deeper ways, it's also stuff that we challenge and practice ourselves, because I can try to help someone out of an unhealthy place, and there's things that, yes, no one's perfect, so in my imperfection I can still help someone. Yes, that is all true and valid. And also the greater benefit and the fruit really comes through when we look inward at ourselves too, and we're able to grow in these ways that we're asking the kids to grow. And that's also leading by example. The best examples that I have seen in my own life of people mentoring me is them leading by example. And I've learned so much more from their actions and how they've supported me than by their words alone. So that's one of our goals here at Pure Game, is to lead by example, and really lead in that mentor way. And how I like to think about it and how people have mentored me is that it's good to be mentored and also to mentor someone else. So it's the being poured into so that you can pour into someone else. So that's just a little bit of why Pure Game exists, and a lot of what we want to invite you into the conversation in these Tiff and Tony shows of just more of what we do, that's more than soccer and more than playing games with kids. So
yeah, perfect. Well wrapped up. I like that. And you said it, right? We're challenging kids to grow and develop, and we're challenging ourselves here today. We have never done anything like this. We have never broadcasted ourselves on any kind of platform. So we're stepping out into uncharted territory for us. And we're going to try this and see how it goes and see what comes of it. It should be fun. So I think it's good that the audience that potentially will follow us eventually get to know us a little bit. So couple of questions, and we've primed 5 of them. But there's one surprise question for each of us that we don't know that's going to happen yet. So I would like you to start. Let's go. Where are you from?
I am from Orange County. I was born in Orange County. I moved to Tennessee when I was a child, lived there for a few years. And then I've mostly been back in Southern California the rest of my adult life. And right now I live in Costa Mesa. Ditto question to you, Tony.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
So I'm from England, moved to California in 2000, and have been here ever since. So how long have you been with Pure Game, Tiff?
Yes, just recently. I started back in September of 2019, and we're in, April of 2020 now, so I guess just over 6 months.
Nice.
And what about you, Tony?
So I am the proud founder of this organization, and I started it in 2009. So we have now been up and running for 11 whole years. So it's been 11 years that I've poured myself into this. It's been fun and exhilarating, scary and challenging along the way. All right. So third question, name something that is important to you in this world.
My dog. I will unashamedly say that he's my emotional support animal, and he brings a lot of joy to my life, and it's the unconditional love that just fills me up. And he's such a cuddler, so I get to just cuddle with him all the time. And he's really important to me, and he brings a lot of joy to my life. All right, cool. Tony, one thing that is really important to you.
It has to be my family. I have 2 wonderful daughters, an amazing wife, and I actually have a son back in England as well, who's also important. So my family, very important to me. Okay, so give me your top 3 values in life.
Honesty, vulnerability, and trust. So being able to trust others as well as being a trustworthy person.
Cool. Honesty, vulnerability, and trust. I like those 3.
Back to you.
So mine is personal development, family happiness, and fun. My 3 biggest values in life. Okay, so what is one thing that you want to achieve in the next 10 years?
This is something that I've been kind of ideating for quite some time, and I want to be a mentor. And I know that in some ways I am already mentoring others. I think that I can sort of envision this bigger picture or just this more intentionality of just walking with someone who's either younger and or a little less experienced or less knowledgeable, and just being able to walk with them through life and be a deep connection, a safe place, and just a mentor that can really love someone else in a way that I kind of help them through life. And go through the ups and downs and kind of be in the trenches with people and work through the hard stuff.
Good. So mine is all around Pure Game. I want to create a worldwide organization that helps millions of kids across the world. So I want Pure Game to be international, around the world, helping kids really thrive in life, not just survive, but thrive in life. So my question for you that you haven't been primed for is why do you enjoy working with kids? What drives you to do more with kids?
So one of the things that I love about working with kids is that it gives me this really cool opportunity to kind of be a kid with them a little bit. I just have been noticing how much it brings out my playfulness. I do have a natural playfulness. I tend to sometimes get into these really logical places in my brain where I'm just uber responsible and doing all of the adult things. And sometimes I forget to have fun and just play. And it's kind of this beautiful mix of kind of being this positive role model and mentoring, but then also just being able to be silly and have fun and joke around and laugh together and be laughed at. And so I think kind of a deeper thing to that is what you had asked too, is what drives me to work more with kids. And I think it's a little bit of what I explained in my answer to that last question of what I want to achieve, hopefully in the next 10 years, is to be someone that can really just go through the hard stuff with kids. And I know that there are so many kids and youth that really struggle, whether it's because they don't have a safe family environment, whether it's because they have maybe a mental health struggle or something like that. There's kids that end up in juvenile hall, and I really just want to be a person that can go through that hard stuff and be in the trenches and help them learn how to validate their feelings, and that it's okay to feel that way, and what it means to kind of grow into that healthy adult, like through the really hard stuff. And what I've learned is that you got to go through the hard stuff to get to that place. You can't just avoid the hard stuff and go around the hard stuff. The hard stuff is actually part of life, and it's part of our emotional growth and mental growth and all of that. So I just want to be the type of person that can do that and be that person.
Cool.
Yep. All right. So my surprise question for Tony is, what is one of your deepest fears? And I'll let you choose how vulnerable you want to be here. This is episode 1.
Yeah. What is one of my deepest fears? Well, actually, it actually is around Pure Game. I have often said, I mean, I've been doing this for 11 years now. And throughout those 11 years, I don't think I've really got rid of it. It's this kind of imposter syndrome. I often say I feel like a little kid playing in the big boys sandpit. And at some point soon, someone's going to see me and say, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. Get out. And it's almost this, imposter syndrome that someone's going to discover that, I don't know, I don't belong as a mentor for kids, or I don't belong as a leader of an organization, or someone's just going to look at me and say, that's a load of rubbish. That's my deepest fear. Yeah.
Sounds pretty hard to hold.
It can be. It can be. So, but thank you for that question. That was an awesome starter question. And so that's kind of it, guys. That's what we're looking to do as we move forward, right? We want to get on a show like this. We want to explore emotions and how they turn up in the world. We want to figure out what positive youth development looks like. We want to help kids engage in the world. We're hoping that this takes off, and we're hoping that we can go and interview people out there in the world, right? We can go and talk to entrepreneurs and business owners and people in different arenas where it could help the listener, help these kids grow and develop into really awesome adults in the world. So that's what we can expect. Tiff, any final comments, any final words?
I'm excited, intimidated. Yeah, I'm eager to see what happens
Me
and
too.
excited to do this with you. Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. And let's have some fun with this.
Yep. Agreed.